let's get into the Calgary Stampede.
Yes.
The greatest outdoor show on earth is taking place in Calgary. Now, I find the Calgary Stampede to be a little bit commercial. I like my rodeos a little smaller, a little bit less buckle bunnied, if you know what I mean. However,
bunnied.
you know them when you see them. But my fellow Albertans did not let me down. Mark Carney got booed at the Calgary Stampede.
No. Do we have video evidence of that, Sheila?
You better
it's so
believe
unbelievable.
We do. Watch.
Korea. Please welcome the Right Honorable Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh my God, everyone's booing.
We're also pleased to be welcomed by the Canadian Army of Korea. Please welcome.
That's
wow,
like
Sheila.
at the Stampede and Stampedes, like for example, Pancake, you get NHL level attendance at these things.
Yeah.
And that's like an NHL size crowd booing the Prime Minister of Canada in his alleged home province, as if he spent any real time here in the last 40 years. But that makes me happy to see it. And good for Calgarians. Good for you guys.
You know what, Sheila? It makes me happy too, not because necessarily Mark Carney was being booed out of any kind of personal spiteness, but it makes me have some lingering hope for the future of this country. Alberta, much like Texas in the U.S., if Texas ever goes blue, it's game over. Alberta is the most conservative province, and I would make the argument that after what the Liberal government has done to them the last 10 years and other iterations of the Liberal government, if Mark Carney walked into Calgary, Alberta, Canada during the Stampede and got a standing ovation, that's it. I'm making my exit strategy plans, Sheila, because Calgary or Alberta as a whole is the last bastion. And it also speaks volumes, I would say. I saw a recent Abacus poll, I believe it was, Sheila, indicating that if a election were held today, and we're just, 2 months and a bit into, the election of April 28th, the Conservatives would emerge with a minority government. Like, I thought the honeymoon period was at least 6 months. It looks like it's just 2.5. So that gives me hope for the future that Carney is being booed. At least there's a demographic of people in our Dominion that aren't buying this elbows up crapola, which hasn't materialized. I might have been out of the country, but every time I saw a story involving Mark Carney going mano a mano with the big bad orange man to the south, it wasn't elbows up, it was knees down. So as Clara Peller used to say in the Wendy's ads, where's the beef? And I think more people are catching on to that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and I was there when Premier Smith walked into the Pancake Stampede. And again, Pancake Stampede, like 12, 13,000 in the stands every single day. The cheering was off the rev limiter there. Like it was like you were watching the Chuck Wagons to see her walk out. And then you see Carney go into the Calgary Stampede. So a little bigger, a little more commercial. And so you might expect some Liberals maybe to attend there, just, the way that people go to the zoo and look at the zoo animals, like look at these Albertans in their natural element. Let's stare and oogle them. So there could have been some Liberals in the crowd there, but no, Carney got completely booed. And that makes me very happy to see.
Gee, I'm so happy to hear from you, Sheila, that the zoos in Alberta still specialize in exotic zoo animals. Here in Toronto, drag queens are the new species on display, but that's a subject for another day. Now, I have to say, given the video evidence of our next clip, if this whole prime ministerial gig doesn't work out for Mark Carney, if he has to plan a new career, it better not be at a breakfast restaurant. What do I mean by that? Well, let's check out the video evidence, shall we?
Oh my God.
You're worse than Justin.
Okay, there's another clip of him
Yeah.
not even knowing when to flip a pancake. Like, okay, I should tell everybody why pancakes are part of Stampede culture because it might feel foreign. During Stampede week, breakfast is available everywhere. All the major companies, all the major political parties, they have Stampede breakfasts everywhere, all over the city. You can just roam through the city in the early hours of the morning, just eating pancakes to your heart's delight. And it is a thing that politicians do. And it's particularly hilarious when Eastern politicians or people who have not spent a lot of time being a politician in Alberta, a la Mark Carney, who claims to be a hometown boy, show up and try to flip pancakes. Now, there's another video of him out there where he's trying to flip pancakes, and it's like he's still flipping them when they're liquid and not figuring out how they work. Like the help has not shown him how to use a spatula.
Yes.
It's the most ridiculous thing. We have...
By the way, Sheila, in case we can find that video, I'm going to say something in defense of Mark Carney, and that is this. That might have been the first time in his adult life in which he flipped a pancake.
You know what? Yes. Okay. For a first timer, like for a quite literal day oneer, not bad. Okay. We'll give him that. We've got, well, maybe we dig that up. We've got Polyev ripping into Carney's failed attempt at his Stampede breakfast pancake flipping. And then I've got to show you an expert at pancake breakfasts after this. But let's do this one with Polyev.
Even for Liberals, we have to be hospitable. And so let me start in a spirit of nonpartisanship as a Calgarian to welcome Prime Minister Mark Carney to his very first Stampede in this role. And he had, of course, to do the customary thing and flip some pancakes. Now, he thought he would be great at it because in his trade talks with Trump, he's had so much experience flip-flopping. But still, it didn't go as planned. One of the pancakes got broken in half and the other one splattered everywhere. And he owned up to it. But a careful review of a slow motion replay demonstrated exactly what the problem was. He couldn't figure out whether to put his elbows up or down.
Very good.
So,
you know, Sheila, those were brilliant remarks by Pierre Polyev. But, you know, in the big picture, can we not get away from these trumped up, obvious photo shoots? I mean, I think the worst one, I think I've said this on the show before, it was in the 80s in Ontario, and Michael Dukakis was in Toronto for some reason, and it was Premier Peterson at the time, and they had a photo op in a subway, and you can see how awkward both were, like looking at the bars, and it was like, oh, what are these bars for? Oh, but you see, Mr. Dukakis, when the subway is jam-packed, you don't get a seat, you have to stand and you have to, oh, that's why. And I mean, it's just so much pomp and circumstance signifying nothing, I would suggest. Can we just move away from that and just have these leaders give press conferences and give tangible information as opposed to doing pancake flipping? And I bet you after those pancake disasters at Stampede, Sheila, Mark Carney, if he's watching this, is wholeheartedly agreeing with me right now.
I want to show you this. I think Stephen Taylor made it last year. It's Trudeau versus Danielle Smith. And the reason the pancake flip is an important part of Alberta culture is it shows how much time you spend out amongst the people, because it's rodeo season all summer long here, and spring and fall. And so your local politician is out there at the pancake breakfast, flipping pancakes. And for us, this shows how much time you spend with the people, as opposed to talking at the people. You actually are talking with the people. And so let's show that, because as long as Danielle Smith's in power, That woman's better be flipping pancakes because look at this. Okay, here's Justin Trudeau last year or 2 years ago, I think.
Deja vu.
Watch.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Now you see? The pancake will make or break you.
What a route. You know, the way Danielle Smith was flipping them right into the tray, she just took Trudeau to school, didn't she? I mean, like that was just something.
Doug Ford almost did it. Now I think Doug Ford has a strong relationship with food, so he's good at it. But so is she. She's letting him do it.
I would argue if Danielle Smith went into that breakfast restaurant, she'd be a superstar. The way she was flawlessly flipping those pancakes right on target every time. But again, why are we talking pancakes? Let's talk pipeline, shall we?
Yeah, we could do that. We've got, I love to see politicians just absolutely mangle the pancake flip. It makes me really happy.